Well, yeah, that is that. Where are we in the game world anyway? We are, here in... This is the Rosemary and Thyme that we're in. Or no, Rosemary and Thyme's down here. So this is, oh, I forget the name of this place. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, it's the Kingfisher, maybe? Might be the Kingfisher? So, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything interesting here to investigate. But I do know that Geralt needs to put his clothes back on before he heads back outside. So, let's do that. Let's put his mastercrafted armor back on. Griffin armor, Griffin boots, Griffin trousers, and where's his gloves, man? Oh, they're right here. Gauntlets, that's what I meant to say. Let's go ahead and put our weapons back in their slots. The steel weapon, the silver sword. Okay. Well, I do not know how much coin we had before that, but I don't think it was that much, so I guess we did get, we spent 1,000 to play, and then we got, I guess, 4,500 back, because the prize was 9,000. She said she was going to split it with us, and I think that probably comes out right. That's probably right. Well, as far as secondary quests, all we have are these, quests that are part of the Heart of Stone DLC, and I've mentioned it several times already, and I'll mention it again. I'm going to do that as a separate playthrough. I'm not going to do it as part of this playthrough. And then we have this one out here, complete your collection of Gwent cards. Yeah, I don't know who else to play. I mean, I'm thinking that I might have to go online, see what cards I'm missing, and see where I'm supposed to find them. I mean, unless I just go running around the world, visiting places that I haven't visited yet. Excuse the annoyingly noisy motorcycle outside. Yeah, I mean, if we look at our map, I mean... There's a lot of question marks still out here, as you can plainly see. Oh my gosh. I just can't believe it. I cannot believe how many undiscovered locations there are out here. I really can't. I kind of cleared out this area over here. I just can't believe it. It's just crazy how many there are. I can't even imagine doing all of them, you know? And this is just here in Novigrad and Velen, you know? I mean... Velen, no man's land. We could even go back to White Orchard, you know? I hadn't even considered that. But White Orchard is kind of small. And I don't know if there's anybody here to play Gwent with. I don't think there is. But I've cleared out White Orchard. There's no more undiscovered locations here, which is kind of nice. Yeah. And then, let's not forget about the Royal Palace in Vizima. That's all there is to that place, so that place is cleared out. And then Kaer Morhen, I don't think there's anybody up here I need to play Gwent. And there's, did we clear out all the question marks here? It's kind of looking like we did, huh? Yeah, I guess we did, so this place is cleared out too. It's too bad it's not like Tomb Raider and it tells you 100%. You know, like here it would say 100% cleared out. And then there's Skellige, which, as you well know, there are an unbelievable number of question marks out here. And I just really don't know if it's worth the trouble to go to all of them. There's that Smuggler's Cache I never could finish. I went back and watched it, and it actually looks like one of the crates fell to the bottom of the water, the bottom of the ocean. And I don't know how I'm supposed to get to that. Don't even know if it's possible, so I may not be able to ever clear that one out. Gee whiz, look at them all, man. Well, I guess we're to the part in the game where it's time for us to talk to Avalak and get started on this, what I believe to be the final quest. So let's stroll down here.
Sick of it all.
You're sick of it all, are you?
Piss off.
Oh, okay. Stroll down here and we'll make our way to a fast travel point. Make our way back over to Skellige and yeah, get ready to speak with Avalak.
What's he doing here?
What's he doing here? I go where I want. I do what I want. Do as I please. Are we in the square? We are, aren't we? Let me take this opportunity to sell off
I cannot believe it.
some of this extra armor I'm carrying.
By order of the Heirarch, whosoever conceals a mage in their
it's 4:32 a.m., so he's not going to be out here. So let's meditate till like 10 o'clock. He should show up then. Okay. Alright, are you open for business?
top-notch swords.
Show me your wares.
Show me what you have in stock.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and sort this stuff by price, and we'll sell this crap off. I don't need these trophies. Sell all this crap off, and... ooh, look at that pretty thing. Sell that off. We've bankrupted him. He is not selling anything I am interested in, I don't think. So, having lightened our load considerably, we will be on our way.
So long.
And then, right down here is Hodgson, the bookseller. We have a few books in our inventory here, excuse me, that we have not read yet, such as Travel Between Worlds. Ooh, let's read about Emir. Let's read his biography, shall we? Let's just take a moment to do that. Childhood and early manhood. Though the Nilfgaardian throne was his by right of birth, it would be many long years before Emir var Emrys sat upon it. When he was but 13, an uprising engulfed the empire's capital. A usurper seized power, overthrowing Emir's father, Fergus var Emrys, who then refused to grant legitimacy to the coup. The usurper then decided he would break Fergus by having mages torture his son and heir Emir. He failed in his plan, was forced to kill Fergus, and Emir escaped, presumably, to a land beyond the empire's borders. No reliable accounts of the emperor's actions in exile exist. Some claim he fell into the company of a knight-errant, serving as a squire. This seems plausible enough, though the tales about the eccentric knight's proclivity to charge at windmills must surely be the storyteller's exaggerations. A few unreliable reports claim a connection between Emir and the fabled Urchion of Erlenwald, who saved the life of King Ragnar of Sintra. This seems far less likely, for it is public record that when the Witcher Geralt of Rivia lifted the Urchion's curse, he was revealed to be a duke named Dunny, who later wed Ragnar's daughter, Pavetta, and perished at her side when their ship went down at sea. What is known for certain is that around the time of this great tragedy for the kingdom of Sintra, Emir reappeared in the empire and led a revolt to overthrow the usurper and restore his own birthright. Soon after, he led the empire's armies in their successful conquest of Sintra, setting a tone of determined military expansion that would endure through the rest of his reign. Okay. Holy Tome of the Eternal Fire, the White Frost, that sounds important. One can hear Ithlin's prophecy whispered at every market, garbled and reused by every village witch, delved into in any treatise touching on sooths and diviners, and in general saturating our common culture. We all know that the time of the wolf's blizzard approaches, the time of the white frost, and that the world will perish amidst ice, but few truly understand the meaning of these words. The self-proclaimed prophets who shout out Ithling's words mistake stars reflected in a still pond for the sky. For the white frost is no legend or mythical apocalypse. It is a natural phenomenon that can be described in the dry yet precise language of scholarship. The renowned scholar of Thorn's studies have clearly shown that our world is not the center of the universe, but one of 1,000 such globes spinning in the endless darkness of space. This space is usually described as a vacuum, yet to do so is grossly misleading, for through this vacuum swims invisible to the naked eye the white frost. We do not know exactly what the white frost is. Perhaps a microscopic dust that blocks the incoming light of the sun? Perhaps infinitesimal particles of the sort postulated by Democritus of Ban Ard, with the unusual property of sucking up warmth as a sponge does water? We know for a certainty, however, that thanks to the telescopic observations of elven astronomers, the white frost, whatever it is, has already destroyed a great many worlds. The star systems in which it appears perish into lifeless hunks of ice over the course of a few decades. Furthermore, each scholar is agreed that the white frost will one day come to our world. Iflin's prophecy, though based on magic intuition and not scientific observation, thus appears to foretell the truth. Many mages are skeptical about the theses presented here. I recommend they carry out the same experiment I have conducted in my own laboratory. Why do I pronounce it that way? I don't say laboratory, I say laboratory. Whenever I see it spelled out, I say laboratory. Using the spell portus asterum, open a microscopic portal for 3.5 seconds to the coordinates 03, 31, 48, 90, 89, 27, 09, 34. Yet before you do, dress in your warmest furs, and ready an axe for breaking through thick ice. I wonder what these numbers mean. They have to signify something, right? I don't know what that may be. Let's see here. Well, if you will bear with me, we have 3 more unread books. I don't think I'm going to read this one. This one here. Oh, okay. Well, then I will read it. I thought this was going to be some big, long, flowery thing. Instead, it's a short, flowery thing. Love. To love is to build a house of cards or play a game of chess. But one wrong word or ill-thought move, and you must start it all afresh. I don't know about that. Tide. Whenever I watch the tide recede, cold coils of fear grip round my heart. Will the seas sneak back, calm and sure, in the dark of night as they have before? Or will they stay on distant shores, leaving crushed shells and washed-up dreams as memory of serfs of yore? Good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and read these 2 books so that I could sell them. This is Travel Between Worlds. Running through many folk tales is a common motif of travel between worlds. By way of example, think of Orpheus, who ventured into the nether realms to save his beloved Theodore, who, fleeing a hurricane, found himself in the drab and monotonous world of Zo, or Asila, who tumbled down a ferret hole into a land that had never heard of wonder. Also of this ilk are the many rural legends about people captured by the wild hunt only to return to their homelands after years riding the sky with a spectral cavalcade. Academia has for the most part dismissed these tales as mere epiphenomena of human irrationality. I, on the other hand, always operate on the assumption that a grain of truth lies in every tale, and so have decided to make it my goal to find it. After years of research, I have ascertained with great certainty that travel between worlds was once indeed possible, though only to a select few. The key is the so-called Elder Blood, or rather, to use the scholarly term, the gene of Lara Doran, the powerful elven sorceress. By comparing her genealogical tables against all known folk tales, I have been able to determine that she and her descendants were the archetype of the world's traveling heroes of many legends. The bearers of Lara's gene possessed an extraordinary talent, which allowed them to move through time and space and to reach realms beyond the borders of the known world. The overwhelming majority of them, however, did not know how to control this. It would only manifest itself in extreme situations, pushed out by sudden bursts of emotion or when the bearer's life is at risk. That is how the above-mentioned Orpheus, in shock after the death of his wife, could in fact journey to another world, which he foolishly mistook for the afterlife. The hurricane provided the pressure needed for Theodore, terrorized at home by his zany Uncle N, to unleash his talent and teleport to a world free from madcap antics. And if we read between the lines, we clearly see Asila was a prostitute and a fist tech addict. The ferret hole represents how, when she had reached rock bottom, she whisked herself away to another universe to get sober. Fortunately for any future Ecalises, the sad conclusion of my research is this. Laura Doran's line has been irrevocably cut off. The last bearer of her gene, Cyrilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, heiress to the throne of Sintra, died childless many years ago. Okay. And then finally this last book, the Holy Tome of the Eternal Fire. The fire protects whosoever, oh my gosh, that says whosoever. It's probably supposed to say whosoever shall stand in its light. Him no evil shall ever harm. The fire cleanses like a wound puffed up with dirt and pus. So too must a soul inflamed with sin and vile deeds be burnt clean. The fire cannot be contained. Whatsoever lies in its path shall be burnt. Whosoever raises a hand against it shall be reduced to ash. The fire illuminates the darkness. The evil that in shadow lurks shall be revealed in the fire's harsh light and perish in its smoldering embers. Whosoever seeks to hide his guilt and lecherous works in darkness shall stand naked before the devouring flames. Let us pray, brothers and sisters. The fire enlightens, burns, it cleanses. The fire protects, warms, and lights the path. The fire exposes, incinerates, and destroys evil. Well, those of you who have stuck around long enough, did we read the Wild Hunt one? Oh, I guess we didn't. All right. Well, if you've stuck around for those, you'll stick around for this one. A frail ribbon flickers across the sky, the rider's spectral silhouettes barely discernible within it. Then the cavalcade contorts closer and closer, revealing more and more of their ghastly form. Now the buffalo horns atop their helms penetrate one's view, and now the crest betwixt them, and now the skull-like face exposed beneath their visors. The riders sit astride skeletal mounts, bits of barding stuck to their sides like boils. A furious gale howls through the willows. Their blades now glisten like unfailing stars in the black sky. The wind howls louder and louder. No, that is no wind. That is ghoul song. Suddenly the nightmarish cavalcade twists once more, the hooves of its ghostly mounts churning the light of will-o'-the-wisps hanging above the bog. At the head of the cavalcade rides the king of the hunt. A rust-eaten bassinet sways above the skull-like mask. Gaping eye sockets burn with a pale blue fire. Around him whirls a tattered cloak. A necklace rattles atop his rust-covered breastplate. Holes empty as the abyss stare out from it. Once they were filled with precious stones, but these fell out during his race across the skies and became stars. The king of the hunt laughs, his teeth rotten as the grave, snapping above the rusted collar of his breastplate. The blue flames in the eye sockets of his skeletal mask roar. All right, there we go. There's all our books. Let's sell us some books to Marcus Hodgson now.
Ah, you're back.
You're back.
Let's see these books of yours.
Yeah, here's one to sell. And we're not going to sell off these people's notes and diaries. I probably didn't read that one either. Sell, 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 sell. I can't sell that one. I wonder why. Okie dokie. There we go. We sold some books, we read some books, we sold some books. And I thank you for your patience. Geralt, as always, has to feel like the bigger man by standing on his books. Well, I'm going to end my play session here. I'm going to go ahead, though, and travel to Skellige, so that when I start my next play session, we will be in Skellige, and we will be ready to take on this quest on thin ice. Thanks so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, won't you let me know by leaving me a like or a comment? And if you're not a subscriber, won't you please consider subscribing? Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you will join me again in the next episode.